dark. See, like it's not as bright now. See what I mean, Jelly Bean? And what does it mean? It's bright. It's brighter than what it was.
Okay.
Hello, and welcome back to the Menopausal View. I am Jay.
And I'm Jen.
And we are here to talk about mommies. We're here to talk about our most glorious mothers. So, first of all, I would like to say happy Mother's Day tomorrow to all of the mommies out there, whether you're a mommy watching or whether you've got a magical mommy, and most specifically, happy Mother's Day to my mommy, because she's pretty jazzy. She is pretty jazzy. So we were just kind of, when we were talking about how we were going to talk about Mother's Day, because we never know how we're going to talk about things. They just snowball. They just evolve. And so I was saying, you know what? Let's share some of our favorite memories from...
As my mom comes in and screams.
As her mother comes in and screams. That is awesome. Yep. Who is that? Zara? Hello! Hello, darling. And so just to share some memories of our mommies. And so I encourage you, if you're watching this from wherever you're watching, share a wonderful, just a little memory about your mom, and somehow, you know, whether it's just a funny story, or whether it is how she made an impact on your life, how she shaped you, molded you, that kind of thing. So I'm going to let Jen go first. I did a lot of the talking the last time, and Jen was very polite, very kind, and let me ramble on. Jen may be a little high right now. I'm in no place to judge. So, anyway, I'm going to sip on my Corona while she starts, and then I'll kick in, and we'll talk about, my mommy.
Well, I didn't expect to go first, so I wasn't prepared. I think that, my mom was always, I come from a long line of very, very intelligent and strong women.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My grandmother, my dad's mom, was my, between my mom and her, they were both my female role models. Mm-hmm. So I always kind of lump her in with the mom card, even though she was my grandma.
Yeah, understandable.
But
she's still a mommy.
Yeah.
She's still a mother that impacted your life.
Yes. And the two of them were, have always been the ones who supported my every endeavor. And when I was a kid, all I wanted to do was be an artist. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to do fashion design. I wanted to draw. I wanted to paint. I wanted to do calligraphy. I wanted to work for Hallmark. I wanted to anything that had to do with art. Mm-hmm. And then as I got older, I wanted to do art therapy. And then eventually I ended up as a graphologist, which is a handwriting therapist, which is kind of the same as an art therapist. So I've progressed in all these levels, and my mom and my grandma were both very supportive no matter what I did. And then I got pregnant when I was 16, and if it wasn't for the two of them literally keeping me, put together, and helping me raise my son, essentially, it was 3 generations, taking care of the 4th generation, So there was 4 generations involved with the rearing of this one child. And I feel like he got so much more out of it because it was a village effort instead of just a one person effort. Right. Because I was a single mom and I was busting my butt and trying to do everything. And, they were there for all the highs and the lows. And when my grandmother passed, it was very difficult. But, first of all, before I go any further, I did want to say that not everybody has their mommies still.
True story.
And
yes,
we both lost our fathers the same year. So we cannot understand what you're going through, but at the same time we can empathize with what you're going through because we've lost a parent as well.
We can't sympathize, we can empathize, what she's trying to say.
Right.
But yeah.
That.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I thought that's what I said.
Not exactly.
All right, what she said. So, if you are joining us and you have lost your mother, we want to say we love you.
Yes.
We do. We love you. And, you know, our hearts are with you on this day. If you are a mother, we also want to say Happy Mother's Day and how much we love you and adore you. Mm-hmm. And if you are a child, you need to call your mother.
Yes, absolutely. And I just want to say this too. For those of you that have angel babies, you are still a mother.
You are still a mommy. So with all the trouble that I had with my son when he was growing up, they were the first ones there. My mom, but I really feel like after my dad passed, my mom and I, we were always close, but I think after my dad passed, Mom and I got incredibly close. Incredibly. We have become very reliant on one another. And I like it. I like it that way. I'm very close with my family. So she was my support as much as I feel like I'm giving her support as well. And especially with everything that's been going on recently with me, it's been very hard for me to lean on, you know, to lean on her as much as I have, because she is getting older and she's got more energy than I do, and she's got, you know, she's got more drive than I do, and she's going to be 70 this year. So, I mean, you have to give, she's very strong, she's very intelligent, and she's just, and it's funny because I'm my dad. I'm a female version of my dad. And my sister is more like my mom. And, you know, that quiet strength, you know, but if you mess with them, they'll cut you in two.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they won't say anything. They won't do anything. You'll think everything's fine. The next thing you know, you're just done. Right. But with my dad and I, it was, you know, we're very verbal, very emotional, talk, you know, like to talk about things. Well, my dad didn't so much, but we're more the big personalities, the talkers. So I think that my mom is more than just my mom. She's my best friend, and I don't know if I could do this without her at all, honestly.
I know I couldn't without my mom. Like I said, my mother's always been, when I say, you know, my mother was the president of the PTA.
Hang on. Did we show these?
These are the cookie brownie type things that we got from Domino's. So they're delightful, by the way.
Are they?
They are. They're actually really good.
It's brownie with a chocolate chip cookie in it?
In the center of it. There's no mystery about it.
Okay.
There's just a brownie with a cookie.
That's all there is.
That's
okay.
it.
All right.
So my mother, I get my flair from my mother. My mother, if you hear her here, like, she's very zen now, but if you hear her tell stories about her childhood and the things that she's seen and done, and it's just absolutely phenomenal. She is an amazing woman. She is hilarious. I'm much more like my father in that I say whatever I think directly. My mother, and I love this about my mom, but it's hilarious because my mother is kind of a little bit passive aggressive, maybe. We're gonna call it that. But the running joke in the family is that my mother will tell you some stuff about yourself while she's laughing. So she'll be like, who the hell did your eyebrows? You look ridiculous. So you're like, you find yourself laughing too. You're like, wait a minute, she just threw shade at me. That's why we love her. Growing up, my dad used to just refer to us as you, because we were inseparable. Whenever you saw one, you saw that. My mother always had my back. I couldn't tell you how many times I called my mother in the middle of her work day, smack dab in the middle of her work day, and I'm like, somebody's birthday up here at the school, gonna need 25 cupcakes stat. And when I say those cupcakes would be there in 45 minutes, I don't know where that lady pulled those cupcakes out of, but she was on top of everything. There was never an idea that I had. There was never a dream that I was chasing that she wasn't like, yeah, what are we doing now? Yeah, I'm all about that life. My event planning business, she has been just amazing with that. She's supported every event. She's worked at my events. Wherever she can pitch in, she does. She's been an amazing, I'm hoping and praying that I can be the kind of grandmother, because if I thought she was a great mother, the grandmother that she was epic. Took my kids on fishing trips. When we were growing up, she was involved in, like my brother, she became a scoutmaster with the Boy Scouts. So she was always doing something with the Boy Scouts. She was always heading up something, always surrounded by little kids. And I'm finding that that's my life now. That's kind of her life, literally revolved around us. And the same thing, I emulate that with my grandchildren and my children. My life revolves around them. So thanks, Ma. You have been, I couldn't have asked for a better mother. Like in the hand that some got dealt, I really got dealt a straight flush. So good looking out, because, gave birth to a legend. So what does that make you? What does that make you? So just saying. So tomorrow.
What about you? What are your stories about your mom? We would love to hear your stories about your mom, or even your mom figure.
Yes,
because I also have my mother-in-law. I'm very lucky to have a mother-in-law that I truly, truly adore. Mm-hmm. And she has been very, very, very good to me. And I couldn't have asked for a better mother-in-law. So, and I've been blessed with 3 mother-in-laws that I've liked. So this one, I'm lucky.
Yes, you are blessed.
I won 3 times.
Yep.
So the last one, my mother-in-law passed away, and then shortly after that, my husband passed away. So that's why I'm on my 3rd mother-in-law now.
So let me tell you about my grandmother. So as even-keeled as my mother is, my grandmother was where I get the spice from. My grandmother was a redhead, and at the age of 3, 4, she was teaching me dirty Irish limericks, because my mother's side of the family is Irish. Well, that side of the family, her maternal side is Irish and English, and then her father was German. And so I got taught a lot of Irish limericks as a child, and that's what you want to know. That's the kind of information you want to have on hand as a 5-year-old, is how to rhyme and spew filth at the same time. And when I say that my grandmother, she was, oh my God, I miss her so much. She was amazing, because she never treated me like a little kid. She always talked to me like I was an adult.
That's how my grandma was.
And I did not know until there is actually a joke between my ex-husband and I, because I also was 5 years old and knew how to make a screwdriver. So there's that. And also, so my grandmother would start every morning with a cup of black coffee.
Mine too.
Cup of black coffee. And then she would wash that down with either a screwdriver, or she would follow that up with gin and Fresca.
All right then. My grandma did not do that.
To this day, whenever I see, because it's not like everywhere sells Fresca now. Let's just be honest. I have to, but when I do see it, I have to buy a 2-liter of it. Just so that I'm remembered of that refreshing grapefruit smell that you mix with gin. And it is amazing. So, but my grandmother, I did not know. My grandmother sipped all day long. She sipped, but she was never drunk. I never, ever, ever knew my grandmother to be drunk. That's one funny lady, though. Let's just say that out loud.
Is your grandma still here?
No, she passed away when my oldest son was 6 months old. She passed away suddenly, and unexpected type thing. The doctors put her on a diet. To this day, we are convinced that it killed her.
I believe that. I do.
They took her off salt. And she died in her sleep. She lost a ton. She lost like a whole bunch of weight all of a sudden, and then she passed away in her sleep.
Well, you know that I found out that I don't have enough salt and that I have to drink salt water. So it's possible that that's exactly...
Gatorade? I hope you're drinking Gatorade, not just actual salt water.
Well, it has to have a certain amount of sugar. It has to have a certain amount of salt in the water. So I drink something called Liquid IV.
That doesn't even sound up at appetizing. It doesn't even sound appetizing.
It's kind of like a Gatorade. But yes, I do drink Gatorade too. But
okay.
My grandma was very much the matriarch of my dad's side of the family. Mm-hmm. And she was... I look a lot like her in the face. Mm-hmm. And there for a long time, I was wearing my hair kind of like Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
And even
I do remember that.
And my hair looked like hers too. Mm-hmm. Only she had jet black hair with a little... She had bangs. She had like a half bang thing that went like this. And right here, there was a little strip of gray. That's all she had. And like every time...
almost like at her widow's peak, it just turned gray right there. And then just kind of, that's picture that's pretty.
Yeah. So, and that's funny because that's the only place I have like 3 gray hairs and they're right here in my widow's peak. Mm-hmm. And so anyway,
mine are coming into my wings like I'm part of the Italian mafia.
I kind of wish I had a little more gray hair, but I don't. But anyway, she was the type that you would go over to her house and she'd have those black brush-like curlers in her hair, with the pink sticks that hold them in.
Oh,
and she would have a scarf over top, okay? She'd have her pink nightgown on with her pink silk robe to go over top of it and her pink fuzzy house slippers. And she...
Do they have the kitten heel?
No heel. And she would have her...
I was hoping that they had the kitten heel to them.
No.
Because I was getting a visual.
Well, I think she used to wear them with the kitten heel, but then she couldn't anymore. Okay. And then she'd sit in her pink velvet reclining rocker and watch her stories, right?
So she loved pink.
It never was a thing, but yeah, I think it was. It was never a, oh my God, it's pink. It was just that was her modus operandi,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So you go over there and, she was a homebody. She didn't drive, okay? She did all the cooking and she would get up and have black coffee, 1 piece of toast, and a half a grapefruit.
That is funny.
And, well, that was after she had a 3-artery bypass. Anyway.
My grandmother made some banging ass chili. I just want to, while I'm thinking of it, go ahead. Random, very random.
So, anyway, if you said, Grandma, let's go to Bierman's. That's all you have to say. Within 5 minutes, this many minutes, her hair would be perfectly coiffed. Her makeup would be flawless. She would be dressed to the nines, and she'd have a little pump wedge heel, just little, so she could look, and she'd be like, got her purse, got her teeth in. All right, let's go. And she looked perfect within 5 minutes. You would never even realize that it's the same person. And I realized somewhere along the way that I am my grandmother.
I'm guessing that I probably am too because my grandmother used to entertain us by flipping her top plate out onto her tongue and like laying her teeth out on her tongue, and me and my little brother would laugh and laugh.
My grandma just didn't even... Now, my granddad didn't have any teeth either, so he never even bothered to get any teeth. He tried.
Just was like, screw it, I'm just
he tried. He just gummed everything to death.
So I've had some pretty amazing women. And I'm really thankful for that because when I see what some folks got as moms, and I hope that if you got a mother because everybody is not cut out to be a mother. Let's just say that out loud. Some people are just the vehicle by which you get here. So, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you had to contend with somebody that was subpar in the maternal area, I'm sorry for that. But let me just say this. Take the good from that experience, because there's no one person is all bad and no one person is all good. Take the good from it and build on that. So if you had a, kind of sketchy childhood, take the good experiences from it and say, okay, this is what I loved about my childhood, and try to make it better for the next generation, your grandchildren, you know.
And I think that
Hey, Vicky. Hey, Janine. Hey, Jenny.
what
Jenny.
you're-
Oh, it's Jenny Hanscom. Hello there. I can't see. So, yeah.
And I'm not, for some reason, it's not showing up over
Right.
here.
So I'm doing this to see who's talking to us.
And I think that a lot of people, one of my things that I like to tell people, because it seems like almost every single person has had a problem with at least one of their parents. Mine was with my dad. I was too much like him, and he just couldn't. He didn't like.
That happens sometimes.
He didn't like himself, so he didn't like a lot of things about me.
Yeah.
And it was all the things that I loved about him that he didn't like about me.
Right.
So anyway, but I have found that remembering that we're all here for a reason to learn our lessons. They're here to learn their lessons too. So learning how to take from that what you can and acknowledge that they're here to learn just like you are.
They're human. Parents are human.
Right.
Sometimes you got to forgive, because sometimes parents give you all that they have. Sometimes they didn't have
The capacity.
They didn't have a great childhood. They didn't have great parents to glean anything from. So, sometimes you're working with a crappy hand. Sometimes you just got sometimes you got a 13 hand. You got a 13 hand. That's what you got.
I don't know what that means.
In 21, it's a 13. Because if you get a face card or a 10, you bust. And chances are you always bust. So, or you get a low card and somebody beats you out. So, yeah.
I see.
So anyway.
So it could go either way. And it's what you do with it, with what you've learned and what you've taken from them that matters, and what you do with it.
But at the end of the day, you can't blame your parents if you're grown up now. That's the whole thing. I mean, to some extent, but the thing of it is, if you know better, do better. That's just it. You have to, if there was something that you didn't get as a child, then you try to figure out how you're going to supplement whatever you need and become a better person from it. That's it. But anyway, we are off the, we're going off the grid. We're going off the rails
Don't
again.
we always?
We do, but we don't want to turn this into something morbid or terrible. So, because this is a celebration of mommies. A celebration of, even if your mom wasn't 100%, she was the vehicle by which you got here, you could be thankful for that. Because you're here. And that's something to be thankful for. You're here with us anyway. You're here with us, and you wouldn't be here with us if it wasn't for her. So, ergo,
it's a good thing.
Mom, good hustle. Just saying. There you go. So, Vicky says her mom and... What are you doing?
So sorry. I was trying to...
That she's saying that her mom and her had a rough few years, didn't talk, and then one day started talking, and then one day she got cancer, and you put all that stuff behind you and built a new relationship. By the time, see, there you go. Sometimes
That's so
you get
beautiful, Vicky.
That is a beautiful, beautiful story.
I hate that you had to go through that, but at the same time, I think that you probably appreciated her that much more just because of it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So thank you for sharing that, Vicky.
Yes, thank you. We want to hear your mom stories.
Yes.
We really want to. We desperately want to hear your mom story. So please post your mom stories below.
Yes. Especially if they're funny. I love funny mom stories.
Love those. And grandmas too. I have to throw grandmas in there because to me they're just as important. And I even have some adopted moms, best friends' moms that I've adopted over the years and have called them mom. And so they're just as important to me. Most of them have passed, which is very sad. My best friend Robin's mom, I was fairly close to, I was very close to her when I was growing up because my best friend Robin had 8? She had a big family. She had a lot of brothers. She had one brother and like six sisters. And I was a year younger than my best friend. So I was the youngest in that family. And when she came over to my house, she was the oldest in our family. And we were joined at the brain and the hip and, and so she passed last year and I hadn't spent a lot of time with her, after the last couple of years, but I still got to see her a couple times before she passed. She had gotten remarried, and her husband had passed away as well. And her dad knew my dad. They were both in the same kind of field, and so we were a very close family. And when she passed, it was very difficult for me.
I'm going to say this about the passing away of loved ones, because, like you and I both lost parents. But see, my loved ones have jokes. Because when people in my family pass, they don't automatically go to the great beyond. I think I've shared this before, that they kind of hang around for a while. It's interesting. It is. Which lets me know that this life here is just, you're here for a blip, and you gotta do something really spectacular to make it into Wikipedia. Let's just say that, for you to think about how many people have come and gone from this earth and not made an impact on the earth. They just make an impact on their family. Mm-hmm. And so I like to look at going to the other side as just slipping behind a curtain. There's just a little thin veil here between this life and the afterlife. And whether you call that paradise, whether you call that heaven, whether you call that the upper room, whatever you're calling it, I just think it's a place where, you think about, it's really sad that we're losing them, but think about all the people that they love that are already on the other side of the curtain, that they get to link back up with. Like, they've lost parents, and they've lost siblings, and they've lost sometimes children. They've lost, so, and we're all headed in that direction. You don't get out of life alive. So, true
that
story.
Is true.
It's a very true story. So I'm so thankful that, like, my dad, he had an amazing run here. He was very close to 90. We were on the other side. He was what, 80? Was Dad 82, 80? I've lost count now. He was mid-80s. My aunt was 87. So he must have been 81, 82, something like that. So, he had a good run. We're not here permanently. And so to be loved and to love others, that's what we're here for, and to live La Vida Loca. And I would encourage you, live La Vida Loca. And unless your La Vida Loca includes serial killing and burying people underneath a trailer, that is no bueno. But happy Mother's Day.
It's weird that you went there with that.
I did go there. I went there a little bit. That's where
that wasn't creepy at all.
It wasn't creepy and ill-placed at all.
Not at all. Was it? On Mother's Day.
That was on Mother's Day.
For our Mother's Day video.
Don't be a serial killer. There you go. Happy Mother's Day.
You're
to
welcome.
Everybody.
You're welcome.
There you go. Yep. So tomorrow, my game plan is my husband is giving me money, because that absolves him of having to buy gifts for everybody. And we don't make a big thing. Usually we don't make a big thing out of it. Normally he takes me out to eat, but I don't want to go out to eat. So my son, who is normally the one that comes over and cooks, has to work tomorrow. So instead, I have invited his little people's mommy up to partake of some food with myself and Peter, because since my daughter had the baby, she can't leave the baby can't leave the house yet. So I'm gonna cook a little something, and we're gonna sit around and watch Netflix and chill, but there won't be any eggplant involved.
So Sean doesn't know this, but he got me a Wonder Woman bathing suit.
Did he?
For Mother's Day.
Sean is so sweet. If only he knew how sweet he was.
He doesn't know. So yeah. So usually,
awesome.
my sister and I usually take my mom out for dinner at Bonefish Grill for Mother's Day. And weirdly enough, this year we haven't even discussed it. So as soon as I get off of here, I'm going to send her a message and be like, tomorrow's Mother's Day. Are we going to do the Mother's Day thing at Bonefish or not? And see if she's open to we do that every year. This year, Sean is working on Mother's Day, so we have to figure out how we're going to do that. And we'll have to connect up with his mom next weekend.
I just zoned out there for a second, and I'm going to tell you why. She said, I just got a Wonder Woman bathing suit, and all I could think of was, oh my God, I want a unicorn bathing suit. But I want the boobs to be like the eyeballs and have eyelashes, and have like the eyelashes that come off of your boobs, and then a tutu, and
that would be awesome.
That'd be epic. I need somebody to create that for me. That's what I need in the 3X. Just saying. Put that out there. You got to ask for what you want.
You know what?
If I can give you anything, any tips in life, the squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Maybe if you get a bathing suit that has the push 'em up cups on it, maybe we can make eyeballs and eyelashes for it, and a tutu. We can make it.
I think it's going to look like it's special needs.
We can make your dream come true.
I think we are playing with something neither one of us has any clue what we're doing, and I think that my unicorn is going to look special needs. I'm just saying.
Well, you are discounting me because
I apologize. I forgot you're an artiste.
Rude. And I can sew and crap.
You can sew.
I can sew.
Hell. She's like a Vidalia onion. I learned something. I just keep peeling away the layers.
When I was a kid, my mom...
See how we segued that into Mother's Day? Her mother.
My mom used to make all of our clothes. And her mom made all of their clothes. And so it was inevitable that I was going to learn how to sew.
So
either between my mother and my granny.
Why don't we have glorious costumes? Now, I don't understand. If you have all this knowledge, why are we lacking?
Because it takes.
Why are we lacking?
It takes some time to make stuff, and I have to be inspired.
Okay.
I still have a photo shoot that I've been trying to get put together for my Boss Squad Goals team that I started on, and I just ran out of energy. But it was a superhero t-shirt / thing that I had envisioned in my head. I've got half of the costumes put together, and the other half I was just like, okay, I'm done, I'm tired. I can't do this anymore. And so, and those were simple projects. So if you can imagine a simple project, but yours we could probably do that fairly.
We'd spend a small fortune in rhinestones and glitter.
No, wait, we didn't say anything about You can't go swimming with rhinestones and glitter on your bathing suit,
You're a
honey.
Professional, you can.
You can't, honey.
Just saying.
It's not going to work that way.
I'm saying it's so. I'm going to make it so.
It just doesn't work.
Gorilla glue and
it's not. It's going to come off in the pool, baby.
No, don't say it. Nope. I don't take no for an answer.
Well, we could make you a bathing suit like that, but you wouldn't be able to get in the pool.
There's going to be glitter. There's got to be glitter. There has to be glitter.
We could find some material that has some gold, like glitter thread through it.
Now you're.
What about sequins?
I could do sequins. I could do sequins as long as it didn't look mermaidish.
Well, if we're gonna do with eyeballs, it's not gonna have a mermaid unless that's the eyeshadow.
No. Okay. I have my vision now. Anyway. And Vicky says she can make tutus. Well, hello. See, that's what I'm talking about.
We got a plan.
We put it out into the universe, and look how that all came full circle. Whoop! There you go.
And there we are.
Pew, pew.
All the way back.
All the way back. All the way back.
See how we did that? We are magical.
We are magical creatures. All right. So this has been fantastic, and I hope that you all have a blessed Mother's Day. And if you are visiting your mother on the other side, tell her hello from us. Indeed. I hope that you're still talking to your mother. And don't be all sad and stuff when you talk to your mother on the other side. Nobody wants to hear all that stuff. Tell her about, hey, how great things are going. Ask how things are going with her. You know, you'd be surprised how you get answers. Just saying. And, you know, keep things light. Keep the conversation light. Because you're on the other side. I mean, you know, there's that. So, anyway, praying for all the mommies out there that are struggling, are going through something tomorrow. Like, you know, because like I said, everybody is not having a good time. This might be your first Mother's Day without your mommy. And for
or without your baby.
Without your baby. And we are sorry. We really are sorry about that. And so praying for you that you get some peace and some comfort. And know that we're thinking of you. And that's all. And so, yeah, there you go. So, on that, because I can take this anywhere I want to. See, when you give me the reins, I could get us derailed, but I'm not. So, anyway, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for listening to us ramble. And, are we going to do another one?
It's up to you.
What time is it?
6:30.
Yeah, we'll come back for another 28 minutes. Sure. That's what we'll do. So we're going to figure out what Deanna. Okay, I know what we're talking about the next. We're going to talk about our trip for next weekend. All right. Love you guys. Stay fabulous. We will see you in just a few. Hang tight. Give us a couple of minutes and we'll circle back. Stay fabulous. Is it going?